A very good morning to everyone, and welcome to this Saturday show. We'll be discussing a lot more stuff over the next couple of minutes as well, regarding with all the fixtures results, as well as the manager sacking of Brendan Rodgers, and also we'll have Stefan on to join us and talk us about women's football and how he created a Hibernian Ladies Supporters Club as well. So we're gonna have lots of interesting discussions to talk about today. So, I'm glad we're here now, and it is Saturday morning as well. Let's get on with the show and it's actually after Halloween. It's the 1st of November as well. Yes, a very good morning to you, everyone. Again, wherever you are, it is Saturday, the 1st of November. We've got some loads of fixtures to discuss about some topics, including after the Mayhem week at Parkhead with Brendan Rodgers leaving the club and Matt O'Neill coming back as well. What that entails going forward for the boys at Parkhead. And we also discuss about the Scottish women's side of things as well, football women's side of things as well. See what's going on in that league, in this SPF WFL as well. And also we've got news about the FA Cup as well, and we'll talk about the Carabao Cup as well, including Liverpool's disappointing defeat again to Crystal Palace as well. So let's go through the fixtures today. No 12:30 kickoffs in the Premier League. Only it is 3 o'clock games today. So we'll start off with Brighton at home against Leeds United. Arsenal go away to Burnley. Crystal Palace at home to Brentford. Two teams are really struggling at the moment. Fulham at home to win as Wolves. Manchester United go away to Nottingham Forest later on today, and then it's 5:30 kickoff between Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea, and it's an 8 o'clock kickoff for Liverpool against Chelsea, and it is the Scottish League Cup semi-finals. It's a 5:30 kickoff between Motherwell against Hibernian St Mirren later on today, and then in the Scottish Premiership, Falkirk at home to Kilmarnock as well. Hearts, which I'm going to the game with Hearts against Dundee. It's a new sellout. Hearts still unbeaten after beat Celtic and drawing against St Mirren earlier this week. And Livingston at home to Hibernian on the first later today at 3 p.m. as well. We've got the championship games as well. Leicester City against Blackburn Rovers, Norwich City against Hull City, and Sheffield Wednesday go away to West Brom, which is one of the 3:30 kickoff games. Birmingham City against Plymouth later today at 3 o'clock. Swansea go away to Charlton Athletic, while Oxford United home to Millwall, who have had a very good start away for Millwall as well. QPR against Ipswich Town. There's been linked rumours about Kieran McKay. Would you leave the Tractor Boys for Celtic? That's another debate we'll discuss once Reece joins on. Sheffield United home to Derby County. Southampton against Preston North End. Stoke City against Bristol City, and then finally Watford against Middlesbrough as well. And then two games in the Super League, in the Women's Super League: Chelsea at home to London City Lionesses, and Manchester City against West Ham. And a couple of games in the Scottish Championship: Arbroath against Ross County, Partick Thistle against Queens Park, Rainforest against Green at Morecambe, and St John's against Adronians. And in the Scottish League One, Alloa against Celtic Hearts, Peter at Cove Rangers, East Fife against Hamilton, Inverness Califis against Montrose, and Queen in the South against Stranraer. A couple of games at home as well in League Two. Clyde at home against Dumbarton, and Athletic go away to Elgin City. Spartans, they play their second game against East Kilbride as well. Stirling Abbey against Edinburgh City. Stranraer against 4-5 Athletic. And a couple of games in the FA Cup today. It's the first round as well. Some huge games. Gateshead go away to AC. These are the key fixtures. Bournemouth gets Crawley Town as well. Let's see other giant killer games that we can see today could happen to them. FC Tutton go away to Mansfield, and see here that look like as well. Slough Town gets Altrincham as well. Couple what else fixes? Wellstone gets Southampton United. That the team goes second round. Western Summer gets Aldershot Town, and Hempstead Town go away to Wigan Athletic, and it's Bracken Town gets Notts County as well. Looking in the other leagues as well. Real Madrid, after a good huge win against Barcelona in El Clasico last week, they faced against Valencia at 8 o'clock. Real Madrid at home, Atletico Madrid at home to Sevilla at 3:15. Real Sociedad against Athletic Bilbao, which is one of the local derbies, later today at 5:30. In the Bundesliga and in Serie A, Heidenheim, against Eintracht Frankfurt. but it's a big game at 5:30 between Bayern Munich against Bayer Leverkusen later on today as well. And in Serie A, Napoli at home to Como as well, with Cremonese at home to a Juventus side that did sack Ivo Tudor, Egan Tudor, and now replaced Luciano Spalletti as well. Let's go down and look at the other leagues across Europe. Ajax home to Hervina for half three, and final against Vodam later on at 7 o'clock. And it's a big game between between PSG against Nice later on, and Monaco against Paris FC, and Auxerre against Marseille as well. See here in the over leagues as well too as well, with nothing in the Scottish Premier Women's Premier League as well. Sunday's games, two games in the Premier League. West Ham against Newcastle United at 2 o'clock. Man City at home to Bournemouth at 4:30, and it's the Old Firm semi final in the Scottish League between Celtic and Rangers as well. And the Women's Super League, Everton go away to Aston Villa, Brighton against Manchester United, Leicester City against Arsenal, and Tottenham Hotspur against Liverpool. In the Scottish Women's FA Cup as well. You see some key games as well. As well, Glasgow Women against A United as well too, and also in the FA Cup first round on Sunday, South Seas goes against Shrewsbury Town, Eastleigh against Walsall, and Malden and Triptych go away to Port Vale, and Gainsborough Trinity at home to Accrington Stanley as well. In the Scottish Women's Premier League Division 1, Glasgow City against Aberdeen, Hibernian against Partick Thistle, Montrose against Motherwell, and it's 10 past 4 kickoff between Hearts against Rangers as well. In the La Liga in Spain, Barcelona against Elche, and Real Betis against Mallorca at 8 o'clock. And the two games in the Bundesliga, AFC Cologne against Hamburg and Wolfsburg against Hoffenheim, and it's a big game at 7:45 between in the Serie A between AC Milan and Roma as well. Also in league in the Eredivisie as well, FC Twente go away to Goria, and Sparta against AZ Alkmaar. And in League it's a big game between Brest against against Lyon, and also Lyon at home to Angers, and Strasbourg go away to Rennes as well too. So. And also on Monday night, which consists a Sunderland at home against Everton, which is Monday night game, and Tamworth against later on, which is at 7:30. We should get the FA the second round draw as well as that time as well. So let's get on into the messages before we get my guest on Stefan to join us soon, which we get Reese to join us shortly as well. Oh, Niall, good morning to you. Who do you think will win the semi final at Hampden? I think Motherwell could do well today. I really do. And then I think it's an interesting game tomorrow on that two teams. Who's the more pressure? Who's had a bit of a better resurgence? I think both Rangers started a bit lower power with changing the managers over the last couple of weeks. So I think that's a tough one to call with that one. Good morning, Chris. I am well, thank you very much as well. Yeah, I forgot you're going. You're away to Reading. Robert's playing to Reading. We'll continue that. Yeah. Uh, well, late after seeing a late winner as well. That was, it was a close game as well too. So, yes, it'll be interesting. Oh, good morning, Ant. You finally want to join us. Well, I will let you join us, and I'll link to you if you want to join in as well. So don't worry about that. You can join us during the course of the show as well, which I will send over to you across the chat as well, mate. So hopefully we can hear Stefan. Good morning, Stefan.
Good morning, Carl.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad, my friend. Yourself?
I am really good, thanks. Anyway, I'm really good, thanks. And I felt, you know what, I did all the fixtures. As you see, it takes up over 5 minutes to do
Yeah.
it. So, yeah, it's not too bad. But overall, I was gonna, we'll talk
Uh-huh.
about your love for how you started Hibernian Lady Supporters Club and stuff. We'll
Yep.
talk about it later on, and the Scottish
Mhm.
Women's Premier League as well. Let's go into big breaking news that's been happening earlier this week, and it was a surprising Monday night before I went to bed actually to
Same
find
for
out that
me.
Brendan Rodgers, you know, left resigned from really resigned from Celtic after a really disappointing campaign, especially losing to Hearts 3-1 last Sunday.
Mm.
But let's go back to everything. And was this a surprise that he's walked away from Parkhead?
I was surprised because if you remember in his first series of press conferences, he was determined to stick it out for the 3 years of his contract. And yes, he's in the final year of his contract, or well, he was, but he resigned, and I was quite shocked. Although I did find it quite funny how fast paced everything was moving, because it wasn't officially announced until 9:30 on Monday evening. It came up on my phone, but
Yep.
apparently it was about 5:30 or something that the Celtic board decided to make the call to the now 73-year-old Martin O'Neill
Yep.
to get him back up to Scotland, even though we don't know how long for. It could be weeks, it could be months, it could be till the end of the season. But I thought that I was quite shocked, but I did think that on the Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever it was, against Falkirk,
Yep.
Celtic looked a totally different team. Their passing was slicker. They were playing for each other. I mean, there was obviously dressing room unrest under everything that was going on with Brendan Rodgers as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly as well. Yeah, exactly. Good morning, Reese.
Morning race.
Morning.
Reese, what an interesting Old Firm game coming up tomorrow, with the first time in the season Celtic Rangers have changed their managers in a season. And it's just surprising how it was a shocking interesting Monday night when we
Yeah.
got the message. And I was just saying to Stefan, we got the notification that Brendan Rodgers was going to was resigned. Gives your some of your take on this, because this was like a shock, especially after what he said in the press conferences recently. We'll talk about this statement from Desmond shortly as well, but give us your reaction to it.
I mean, I stand by it. I've been saying for a long time, Brendan Rodgers is a crap manager. Like, it's not even. There's good managers, there's proper managers, and then there's Brendan Rodgers. Like, he falls into that category of somebody who. What's the nicest way to say it? He thinks because he's got so much success up here and he's won an FA Cup that he thinks he's the bee's knees of football. When you actually look at how he manages a football team, people loves to take the piss out of Jose Mourinho for his 3-year cycles, but Brendan Rodgers' 3-year cycles are worse than Mourinho's. Mourinho's ever left one team in a bad condition, in my opinion, ever since he's left a football team, and the only one I remember being in bad shape was his Man United team, because they were just lazy in the third season. Every other team he's managed, third season, they've been great. So I think Brendan Rodgers was just sick and tired of. I'll tell you one thing that's actually really important. I think Brendan Rodgers was sick of the challenge. I think when you look at certain managers who jump out of a football club at any given opportunity, they will jump. But you look in world football, and I hate saying it, but it's a fact. Celtic is historically one of the biggest clubs in football. Bigger than most English clubs. Like, if you look at the success of Premier League clubs, the only clubs Celtic are not bigger than are Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and Aston Villa. Notice how I didn't say Arsenal, because they're bigger than Arsenal, folks.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Let's get that statement from Dermot Desmond. It was so damning the way he said it, and
Yeah.
I'm going to share it up on from the Celtic official website and give
Oh,
you a
and Forest. I forgot Forest.
Forest as well too. Yeah,
That's because we play them later on.
yeah. Let's share this up now, and it's a damning statement. This is this is from Dermot to Celtic supporters. I want to
Yeah.
acknowledge Brenda's contribution across his 2 spells as managers, which helped deliver success in the forms that part of the closed modern history. However, I must express my deep disappointment at the way the past 7 months has unfolded. We brought Brendan back 2 years ago. It was, 2 years ago, it was done with complete trust and belief in his ability to lead the club in a new era of sustained success. Unfortunately, his conduct and communication reach must have not reflected that trust. In June, Michael Nicholson and I expressed Brendan were keen to offer him a contract extension to reaffirm the club's full backing and long-term commitment to him. He said he would need to think about it and revert, and yet in subsequent press conferences, Brendan implied that the club have made no commitment to offer him a contract. That is simply untrue. We met with Brendan regularly, including December last year, at the start of summer with regular dialogue in between to discuss and agree our collective strategy, priorities, and approach. With every player signed and every player sold during his tenure, we've done with Brendan's full knowledge, approval, and endorsement. Any insinuation otherwise are absolutely false. His later press conference, his later public statements about transfers and club operations came entirely out of the blue. At no point prior to these remarks would he raise any concerns with me, Michael, or any member of the board or executive team. In reality, he was given the final say for all football manager and was consistently backed in the recruitment process, including record investment in players he personally identified and approved. With his comments being made publicly, I sought to address him directly. Brendan and I met over 3 hours at his home in Scotland to discuss the issue. Despite ample opportunity, he was unable to identify a single instance where the club has obstructed or failed to support him. The facts does not match his public narratives. Regrettably, his words and actions since has been divisive, misleading, and self-serving. They have contributed to a toxic atmosphere around the club and fuel hostility towards the members of the board, executive team, and the board. Some of the abuse directed at them and at the families, which has been entirely unwarranted and unacceptable. Guys, that statement was very damning completely. And I think, for what I've been told, Brendan Rodgers has not signed an NDA agreement to actually coming back. So this means, in a way, we could see Brendan actually go after Dermot Desmond for
Defamation.
defamation. Yeah,
Yep, definitely.
yeah, exactly. And
It's not just defamation as well. If you read through that post again, like skimming it without saying anything, if you read that post again, it's slander as well.
yeah,
It's defamation of character and slander.
Yeah.
He could have Desmond up on criminal charges for this.
yeah,
And I sympathise with Brendan Rodgers in this way. I don't think he's a great manager. I know Man United fans that wanted Brendan Rodgers as a manager, and I burst out laughing just like they wanted Graham Potter. But I still don't. I think he's remotely successful, but he's also really bad at recognising a situation. This season, he must be paying Chris Sutton overtime because the amount of stuff that Chris Sutton's saying about him on Sky Sports every week is absolutely funny.
yeah.
But in terms of this, he really, really can have Desmond up on a charge. It's horrible, but the more this continues, the more I'm happy because it makes Celtic unattractive. So
It does. It certainly does, especially all the previous managers at Celtic. You include Neil Lennon, you include Ronnie Diella.
Yeah.
They'll all be saying that it's the transfer policy, the players that they bring in. And I think this is why Brendan probably left the first time, because he went to Leicester and he got the job. It just sounds like, with Dermot Desmond, who's one of the majority shareholders, we don't see it publicly, to come out like this and not handle the situation well. I just don't know. I think the Celtic fans are pissed off because the way the club is being run, especially they got knocked out to Kira Almani in the Champions League qualifiers in the playoff as well this summer as well. Letting players go on it. Not replacing the players, quality players like Kyogo.
But this is the part that doesn't make any sense. Chris Sutton was talking about it, whinging about it, I should say. And to be fair, Neil Lennon shut him down. Neil Lennon, a former Celtic club captain, a former Celtic manager 2 times over. He told Chris Sutton to his face, "Where's the excuses for style of player Brendan Rodgers' management? All they sold was 2 players. Also, if you factually look at it, Celtic only sold 2 players in the summer. Yes, they were big money, but Celtic spent huge money. Celtic have got no excuse when it comes to investment. That's an investment that Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibs would love to have. I'm sorry, but they have no excuse.
Mm.
Especially when you spend 11 million on. No, actually, they spent more than that. I think they spent close to 20 million on Ingles,
Yeah,
and people love to rub it in Rangers fans with Torrand or Flo, but Ingles has been the worst signing in Scottish football history
He's
when it
been
comes to big
awful.
signings. Yeah. So when are Celtic fans finally going to take the rack that actually we can't keep barging at Rangers fans anymore for Torrand or Flo? Because
yeah,
you're not going to make any money off Ingles. None. If you want to sell him at some point, he is crap.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and they sold their best player to the wrong football club, but they sold their best player in Matt O'Reilly like a season prior to that. And I look at Celtic and I'm like, you lot, like I get it. Transfers are important. You want to build a team. You sold 2 players. Where's the rest of them? Where's the rest of your quality players? Like I'll tell you what it is, and I say this with great respect. Celtic went so far into the penny pinching product idea.
Yep.
Sign, sell for big money. But they went into markets where they're actually not improving their team.
No,
They only
exactly. Yeah,
like
Yep. No, no.
they've signed all these Asian talents. Only, if we're being honest, only 3 of them ever worked. Kyogo, Hatate, who's now suffering because of Celtic's mismanagement,
yeah.
Maeda.
uh, and
And
Maeda.
Maeda,
And Maeda, yeah,
who wanted to leave in the summer as well. He wanted to leave in the summer.
they signed 2 left wingers, which
Yeah,
made no sense.
no, it made the two left wings does not make any sense at all. And
Especially with Celtic's problem was the right wing. Like it's absolutely funny. Like Chris Boyd said it last week, and then Chris Sutton started crying. Chris Boyd went to him like, "You've got Maeda, who at times played striker or left wing,
yeah,
but Celtic have got no right winger. So what's the excuse?" And they're like, "Well, they can just find somebody else." And then Boyd's like, "So why sign 2 left wingers then?"
I remember you saying that. I remember saying that, and I think he Sutton had nothing to answer for.
He
He
had
had
nothing.
nothing to answer. He
Like
couldn't
what you
even
gonna,
answer it.
yeah, like what you gonna, like what could you do? Like, you could play Days and Maeda on the right wing, potentially, or you play our striker. The fact that they brought in um, Kelechi and Yacho is a sign of why Brendan Rodgers was never going to stick out this season anyway.
Yeah, that
Because
side has said it all completely. I thought he's not
Yeah.
gonna. Yeah,
he's awful as a football player. He's awful, and
That was a deadline day signing as well, scrambling about in the market at the 11th hour to get a player through the door.
yeah,
yeah,
That's
and
all that was. But what you've got to ask yourself now is who is going to take the most unattractive job in Scottish football? Because overnight on that Monday night, Celtic went from being a attractive prospect to a very unattractive prospect with everything that's going on.
very much a poison chalice at that club at the moment, especially with the board and the fans are really divided. And the thing is,
I'm
we
allowed
don't.
to be smug at them for this. Like this is the first time in years I can be smug at them for this.
Yeah, yeah, I agree as well. I can't see Big Ange coming back. He's
No,
unlikely to come back.
He says he's going for a break. Apparently,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I would
very
give the job to
likely
Neil.
for Big Ange. There's
I,
talk about Kieran McKenna.
yeah,
never get they won't put him out Ipswich.
Well, we would require 5 million compensation, I think,
station.
from Celtic to get McKenna up here. But other than that, who else is going to take it?
Well,
Honestly, they
Nicky
should.
Hayen, Nicky Hayen from Club Bruges has been linked with the job, and I think the Boulder Glint manager also is also being linked with the job as well. So
He's
it's
been linked to Rangers so many times as well.
yeah,
Which is interesting.
exactly. So
Gary Gallagher, yeah.
so where does Celtic go from here? Do they have to keep Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney until the end of the season? Because if they can't get a manager in at this in the next few weeks, do they have to keep them till the end of the season?
I'd give the job to Martin O'Neill. I actually think giving the job to Martin O'Neill is actually not a bad thing. Like he doesn't need to do a lot. He can just get Celtic playing football. I don't think Celtic are good enough to play back 4.
Mm-mm.
I will not be surprised if we see Martin O'Neill playing the back 3 again with a Celtic team, just because they're not actually good in the wings, and I think you might see, you might see Kieran Tierney playing left wing back.
Yeah,
And actually, I think, and I'll say this: if he does this, if he plays Kieran Tierney at left wing back, Kieran Tierney walks into the Scotland squad. after that as the starting left back. He will eclipse Andy Robertson if he plays him at left wing back. 'Cause that's all he needs. But like, I think when you look at the Celtic squad in a nutshell, I think right now I would play like a free, like not distinctly a 3-5-2, but maybe a 3-1-4-2. Or but I look at their squad. I mean, they've got Ralston, so they know they're not going to succeed anyway.
3-4-3 as well, Reece, actually. You could do that, a 3-4-3, instead of your attacking wing backs.
They don't have a right winger though.
That's a huge problem. They don't have that right winger who could play, who could play in that on that role, and that's the downfall of why they didn't, do the replacements the last couple of years, especially if you're letting like Kyogo or anyone who ever played that ring to go. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
And just let's go into the messages. Actually, let's see the last couple of minutes, and then let's see here. I think Chris hits a nail spot. I think Brendan Rodgers will be waiting for a job available, regardless whoever's going to sack the manager in the Premier League in the next couple of weeks or months.
I wonder if that'll be the next West Ham manager, boys.
Well, that's a good question.
That is the question.
Yeah, especially what's been going on at London Stadium. It's toxic like Celtic is, but that's been going on for a long time with the same similar situation with the owners. So that could be interesting as well. But Chris even thinks he's pretty sure in an actual Rodgers signing.
Every player that was signed for Celtic was a Rodgers signing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and also Doug, our good friend Doug, said that statement from Derek was embarrassing. And Chris said, I think Dermot has a point in terms of Roger jumping his ship in the first one, but the rest at the end is embarrassing. And Doug said Desmond and Lorwell are cancer on Celtic. Yeah, those, and also a big cancer on the FS board, which Reece did say as well on the Scottish FA board, which that is true.
Yeah.
Actually, I just realised something. Celtic still has Jota, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes. And Jota can play on the right wing.
He doesn't.
Jota bombs down the wing.
Which that kind of does me a little favour.
So let's see your tactics of what you want to put up, because that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing right now. Funnily enough.
Yeah, because I want to see how the Celtic will play, especially that big game against you guys tomorrow. I didn't know it was a total who I choose, because I think Danny Rose.
I'm honest. I still think Celtic win tomorrow.
I
don't like Danny Rose as Rangers manager. I don't
know. I mean, I think it could be 50-50 and maybe even go all the way to
penalties.
Madrid pens.
Yeah.
I just don't think, even though he did get his first win, and against a tough opponent as well, I just don't give a fuck about Danny Rose.
Well, against Kilmarnock, Kilmarnock's not a tough opponent. Let's be
They have been for Rangers in recent years.
In recent years, but not this season. They're slipping down.
At least you got that result out of the way, man. Because
rapidly.
Yeah, you got that result out of the way of beating them. Because when we played against them before you played against them, I have to say they didn't look the best at Kilmarnock in a way, especially against us Jam Tarts. It was pretty much an easy game for us anyway. In a way,
yeah.
I've got a bit of a strange. I'm basing it on like some lineups that they do have, some of them they don't have. So obviously, what's his face is injured for how long? Like he's going to be out for about 4 months. Carlton Vickers.
Yeah, Carlton Vickers out for 4 months. Yeah, he's out for a while. So
well, I've got a bit of an interesting one for you folks. I'll show you in a second.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Yeah, it's like I said, so much disinterest what's going on at Celtic, and it just felt like the old firm teams are losing their grip in a bit. What's been going on this season, because they have, Celtic's been dominant for so long. Rangers, have really not stayed on touch of them. Now you have teams. You have like Hearts are really coming into fruition at the moment. Can they keep themselves competitive towards the end of the season? Time's going to tell on us, and I want to be very cautious on that one of how we're going to deal with this season at Hearts under Derek McInnes, because, like I said, we're going to have a blip at some point, and we need to make sure that blip we get out of that blip come out the other side. So that's
Mhm.
the biggest thing. And you got Hibs are now kind of getting back to their winning ways now, which is being good because I think it was a slow start. Stefan will agree. It was a slow
Yeah.
start, but you're
Mhm.
getting the win. You're getting the wins. You beat Aberdeen the last weekend, which was a good result as well. It just
Yeah.
shows, you're going to against Livingston today. It just shows that maybe I'm not saying it's a too early to say, but I think the balance of the Scottish Premiership is now turning its tide a little bit.
Yeah. And it's so tight in the table right now between 8th and 2nd. It is so tight.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
really, really tight.
Aye.
And yeah, we had a good result against Aberdeen, but on Wednesday against Rangers, we didn't.
Yeah,
Ah,
agreed.
hmm.
Right, Reese, we see this on there now. So this is a 3-4-3. What
Yeah.
Celtics should play. So give us your in depth and what you saying. So
Well, they only really have one goalkeeper.
yeah,
Let's be real.
let's be real
Um,
with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Casper.
defense Defensively, Celtic are shocking. Obviously, I've put Odin Holm in the centre of defence because Karen Vickers is out injured. But he is a defensive midfielder, so at least he can slot in and just dictate the play and control the games. McGregor is crap, but he always seems to get games, so he's just in the squad. Hitati, I still think, is their best box-to-box midfielder. I think Bernard and Hitati would be a better midfield, but Tierney, Johnson are natural fullbacks or wingbacks, so you can play them in that role. Jota, Maeda wide, they're wingers, and then Negrin is by far their better striker. I think that Johnny seems to be favoured at the minute, but I don't think he's overly great.
no,
But then, if you look at the same lineup, you can alternate slightly. So you could have it where Jota comes out potentially. You've got Maeda and you've got Negrin up top. You've got Johnson still in the wing back position, but instead of that your midfield, you could potentially put. I would keep maybe Holm in the back three, so it gives you an extra central defence midfield player who can then come in and make it a 2-2-4-2. You can still have it like that, but I think for the time being, you keep it as best as you can. But then what I would do is if it takes Jota out, you just need to simply put in
Bernardo. Yeah,
Bernardo, yeah. And that's straight away. I feel when I look at it, like people say, "Oh, it's too minded to just." It's not Celtic to go play a back three. Well, actually, one of Celtic's best ever teams was a back three.
mm-hmm.
But I look at other players they've got. Like, if you don't want to play Hatate because he's not had a particular good season, well, to be fair, I think even Welsh could still get in that defence. I think if you don't want to play Hatate, you could easily slot in. You could put in McCowan,
Yeah,
who's actually been quite decent for them. If you want to play like a different type of wing, like a winger as a wing back, you can remove Johnson. You could play Palma out there, who hasn't got a lot of games, but he might be able to change things around for himself.
yeah.
You could put Jota out there for Jota's natural ability to cross a ball and command width, and still have Tierney going.
Bombing down the left wing and going back defensively as well. So yeah,
Like it's. I think obviously Celtic are going to stick with the. I think Celtic are probably going to stick with the back four under Martin O'Neill because I don't think he'll want to make a system change.
yeah,
But when I look at their squad, I actually think the best thing he could probably do is make a system change because it'll benefit this guy. Because even if you were to play him, you still play that 3-1-4-2, but you drop him off as like your second striker.
striker. Yeah,
Already you've got him in there because the one thing you don't want. Well,
Ziniato. Yeah,
every other team wants him to play, but you put him in that position. Sorry, the Berg is like even that. Like you've got Negrin there, but the rest of their squad. I mean, personally, for me, the two teams in their squad I want to see play. I want to see for purpose reasons.
Ralston. Yeah,
I want him here because then he'll bomb the place out, and then hopefully it means he'll never get picked for Scotland again. But it's logic for me. But I think for me, if Celtic are going to play this system, a fully fit squad, honestly, for me, when they're fully fit, this is their best squad.
Vickers, yeah, Cameron Vickers in the back, in the central back, yeah.
And I'm actually going to say as well,
Jota yeah, Johnston on that, right, yeah.
because he can still do the same thing, but if you want just a winger instead of a fullback, but I actually think in full that is Celtic's best team because McGregor's actually not as good as they bloody make him out to be. And like he's another reason why they need to stop picking him. But I think that's their best 11 in my opinion.
At this particular moment, especially when you have Vickers out with injuries out for
Yeah.
a while, it just begs to believe what does Martin O'Neill do now to try to compensate with Vickers not being out for the squad and get players like Maeda back in good form and Hart and Rio Harte as well, who probably those two players that look like they're going to leave this summer completely. Actually, I just think that's gonna feel like it's going to happen because in a way, I wouldn't be surprised if one or two Premier League clubs in January will actually look at the players in the going to the last couple of years of the contract, especially Maeda, who I think, especially it's a World Cup year as well. This is a part, because with Kyogo's he's been out of form at Birmingham City, and he also when he previously at Rennes as well. Maeda is probably the only, and Harte is only two players I think that will get into the Japanese squad next summer. That's all.
And they're going to in that Japanese squad next summer. I think we'll get. I'm going to say controversially. I think Japan next year will get either quarters or semi-finals of the World Cup.
Ooh.
But this just Japan squad, like I've been watching their entire run for like the past year and a half, ever since they smashed and ruined the German hopes for me. Under Flick 22 World Cup, I've been watching them constantly ever since. They've been flying. Okay, hold on. So I take it you guys have just seen this. The FA Cup will now permanently be on TNT Sports.
Yes, I have noticed that. I was watching.
Shocking.
It's shocking in a way because yes, we know the way football's going, it's not be surprised,
Yeah.
And I think even though the BBC don't get much of the games like they used to, because now the TT is now showing all games on there completely, even behind the red button. It's not surprised at all the way it's going,
Yeah.
and as I said, it was good when it was ITV, BBC had it because we all had free tier, but the way the money is now, because of the situation with the fixture congestion, they've got a bit more exclusive in a way as well. So
Yeah.
it's not really surprising at the moment. Because I did watch a bit of the Luton Forest Green Rovers game last night actually, and I have to admit it's weird to see that now they're gonna have a lot more games behind the pay wall now, and just so it's not a surprise, but I can say it's been damaging in a way. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the controversial one in the background now. I'm gonna fix Rangers in the background.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting. I'll let you do your thing.
So I think when you look at Rangers right now, stylely and systematically, I think it's quite obvious until Rangers really find an identity, their best system is the 4-2-3-1. There we know Danny Rowe. I mean, obviously I'm obsessed with German football for multiple reasons, but when I look at it, Danny Rowe wouldn't have been the German manager I would have hired. Personally, I think he's a good manager, but I feel like that he was the wrong guy for the job. It's not his fault. I just don't think he would have been my answer, like at all. So, obviously, the most obvious one out the way until they find someone new because he's dropped off a lot in my opinion.
Yeah, Butland has dropped off a lot, but he's the only best goalkeeper you got at the moment.
Yep, absolutely. I'm also going to make another controversial change.
Oh, you play Tavernier further up because he's more of a defensive, but yeah.
Because I think it's time to put this guy in permanently at right back.
Yeah. Max
So,
Aarons, yeah.
Yeah, Tavernier as well, bomb forward, less reliability in that circumstance. Let him just focus on being a winger.
Yeah.
Left wing is easy for me.
That's a yeah. Danny Rowe loved him so much at Sheffield Wednesday completely. Yeah.
Rangers' best player for me this season as well.
Mhm.
The midfield three, you could play 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. If we're playing it as a 4-2-3-1, for me, Rangers' best midfield, Diomande,
Yeah.
Raskin, that the
Okay.
former manager for some reason hated, which I'll never understand. And then obviously, because he's spelling his name is bloody ridiculous. Yep, it's that Asgard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. But then again, if you switch to a 4-3-3, I would have Raskin as the holding midfielder and then Asgard and Diomande ahead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chermiti I do like, but I would like Chermiti off the
Off the team,
what
yeah. I know I know for big money for him to sign from Everton is very risky, and yeah.
yeah. Up front, he spent money on him, but he's actually played really well.
Yeah.
So I would go for Miowski.
He had a very good goal record at Aberdeen as well, and I don't know how Aberdeen.
Hmm.
Surprised Aberdeen sold him. Now he's back in the Scottish Premiership as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree. I'm actually going to put, at the moment, I'm going to put Aarons actually on the at left wing back. Left back, just because I think for the time being, I think if you're going to play Tavernier right wing back, I think the best option is Sterling, more
yeah.
naturally defensive. Brilliant. I've been really impressed with him this season so far. Cornelius,
Yes, yeah.
and then
Now he's on the
Aarons,
left,
and then beside him,
Suter, yeah.
Look at them bottom much,
for me that's their. I actually think that's Rangers' best 11. But
Mm.
even so, you've still got some other exciting players in there, like one player who could fit in either the left wing or could play up in the attacking midfield role is Mikey Moore. I don't understand why Rangers brought him on loan anyway. It's not really his fault. It's just
No.
I don't think it made sense. Again, you've also got Oliver Antman, who's actually played really well. Lyle Cameron hasn't really got going, but he's still a decent player. Emmanuel Fernandez, I see no future for him at all. Oscar Cortez, no future. Bailey Rice, defensive midfield, I see a future for him.
I do as well. I think he's one of your best players to come through the academy in the last couple of years. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What
have
about
him in.
Diallo, Reece?
Hmm?
What about Diallo? Who scored on Wednesday?
Oh, Danilo.
Yeah, Danilo Diallo.
He's shit. I don't rate him. I honestly don't rate Danilo. He's not that good. I think honestly, I would rather watch Babe get resurrected from a meat grinder and played up front.
It was quite weird though, because his dad was very, very happy waving that flag, as you seen on the telly. Diallo's dad when he scored.
I mean, I would too if I wanted to try and test the waters, but he's genuinely crap.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I think that if I look at it in a nutshell, I would say I actually think that is Rangers' best 11. Obviously, Tavernier's likely to stay at right back rather than the right wing.
Mm.
But even if he plays at right back, all you're doing is making the easiest switch.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's your team. If Tavernier stays at right back instead of right wing, that's it right there. Rangers really do need a left back though properly because they don't have one.
You know, I had one for quite a while, and that's been a huge worry on that left hand side actually.
Oh yeah, massively.
Especially when Sutter, John Sutter, especially with his injuries, partially you need someone to cover. Especially to deal with the left hand side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that is. I think for the time being, that is Rangers' best 11.
Yeah.
And it needs to be done.
So in January, would your priority be a left back then? To shoot left hand side?
Left back and I think Rangers need another. I think Rangers need another striker. I think they need another. I think they need another right winger as well to complement Antman, and then I think Rangers need. Yes, left back striker, right winger, and maybe another central midfield player. Rangers do need to spend if they even want to try and catch up. And then maybe in the summer, look at the defence. The defence is going to be massive.
Who's on the wish list for January then, Reese?
I'm going to say a shock one. I don't think Rangers can afford it, but I would go all out.
See the left hand side. Ooh, Josh Doig, yeah.
Mm.
I would go
would be
for
interesting.
Doig. And I'm going to say another one. I don't think Rangers will really make a move, but this is another player I would really go all in for.
I would rate Doig at left back.
Lennon Miller, yeah. Ooh.
Right wing. I don't think Rangers can. I don't know if Rangers will find a right winger that'll actually benefit. Obviously, Lennon Miller and Josh Doig are playing Serie A. They're doing really well. It'll cost a
Yeah.
bit of money. Central midfield, I think Rangers could realistically get him on loan.
Billy Gilmore, yeah.
I'd go back. I'd go back for Billy Gilmore, and then the right wing. Again, obviously, I'm making speculations about big moves, but they're actually smart. Like they're smart moves.
Smart moves, yeah.
There is one player I actually would like. I wouldn't mind seeing in a Rangers shirt, but I don't think it'll ever happen. It's just a want. 'Cause I want more Scottish players in the squad. I know
Yeah.
McCausland, obviously Northern Ireland, plays really well, but he doesn't seem to get minutes anymore.
Yeah.
I think for a couple of seasons, I don't care that he plays in America. I would bring Ryan Gaul back.
That's the name that we've not heard for a while, yeah.
I would bring Ryan Gaul back to Scotland. I really would.
Quite interesting that one. Yeah, Ryan Gould's the name we've not heard for quite a while, and actually because like I said, because of MLS is not on Apple TV, or we don't see a lot of games because the way they've with their subscription model, it's not really feasible. And yeah.
See if Rangers could afford him though. I think one right winger that would be absolutely perfect for Rangers.
Ben Doak.
Ben Doak, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be yeah, especially now what he's at Bournemouth now. It's a big. Yeah.
It would be an incredible sign that Rangers could land him. I don't think they will, but
No.
it would really, really cause a nightmare, especially if he's there. I mean, then again, we know Steve Clark has an issue with Rangers. It might mean Ben Doak would never get in the Scotland squad again. But
yeah, we've noticed that pattern. Yeah,
I don't understand that. Because even this guy doesn't get Scotland games anymore.
Barron, yeah.
Barron, yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't get any games. Like he's a very good midfielder. But I like Ryan. I've always liked Ryan Goldie, but I think Ben Doak's just up there. To be honest, if it was up to me, Rangers should have signed this guy a long time ago.
Louis Ferguson, yeah.
Should have done. I don't know why Rangers didn't do it. Should have signed him, but yeah, I think if he's never going to be available now, but honestly, I would go for. I would try and see if you can get Lennon Miller for attacking midfield.
That's a good thing. Yes, Doug, I know I need to do my Super Brew, which I am doing right now with my Premier League picks, so I'm going to have to I'm doing that right now, so yeah.
I need to do mine as well, actually. That reminded me.
Yeah, so do you know what? That Fulham Wolves game, I just see this as a 0-0 draw. I really do. These two teams have not really been good lately. I'm picking Fulham 0-0 Wolves.
Either that or it's going to be a Fulham win, Carl, quite handsomely.
Yeah, do you know what? As you're saying that, I'm going to give a 3-0 win for Fulham because, I don't know. Where Wolves going to get a win, I do not know. So, yeah.
Not against us anyway.
No, I know. I know. Actually, let's move away from that. Thank you for your tactics stuff.
Pleasure.
Yeah, let's move on to the Carabao Cup, and what a bit of a shocking result. We're not surprised, but Liverpool loses to Crystal Palace again, and especially losing 3-0 at home, guys. And is this a huge worry for Arne Slot? Because he's getting more and more under pressure now. He backtracked on his comments completely about him saying this score's not good enough, and he backtracked and said it's good enough. Did they prioritise wrongly of not sorting the defence out instead of attacking?
We said it. We said it. Liverpool,
Yes.
I think it should be a new phrase. You pick Mo Salah, you don't win matches.
Yeah.
I said it a couple of weeks ago. Liverpool, when they went and beat Frankfurt, were like they might beat Frankfurt, they might not. They changed to a diamond midfield. They blew Frankfurt away. We're like, it's only Frankfurt. Don't get so cocky. Then they go and lose their next league game because they went back to the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1 where they're relying on wingers because they've not got any. They're actually decent. They put Salah back in team, and what happened? They got beat by Man United.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you go straight into a cup game, playing the same 4-2-3-1. You made 10 changes where you're under so much pressure, and these players are genuinely screwed anyway. You need a little bit of momentum, and you get beat by Palace, who are becoming a
Again.
seriously good cup team. I actually will say, cup. You look at the cup. I think obviously one favourite on the side of it, Newcastle are potentially a favourite to defend their trophy because they've actually done very well.
Yeah, they have this season. Yeah, they have done.
But Palace could also win this cup as well. They could win. They can go back-to-back seasons winning trophies, which they've never done.
No.
Palace could easily get to the final, guys, but I'm not sure about having the strength to get over the line if it's somebody like Newcastle or Chelsea or something like that. Just
I think they beat Chelsea. I think Newcastle is definitely. I agree.
I think they will. I think they could as well. I think between Newcastle and Chelsea, I think Newcastle will edge it because with Chelsea's defensive, their disciplinary issues now, they don't have Liam Delap, who just come back from his injury, getting sent off against Wolves, and he's not even playing in the squad today as well.
And Wolmad is scoring for fun.
Yeah,
he's been a brilliant signing for Newcastle, guys. Voltemada.
yeah.
I said it to a friend of mine on my wrestling podcast last week. He's a Liverpool fan. I literally said it to him to his face. It's quite funny that you spent 130 odd million or whatever it was on Isak, and Newcastle spent 70 odd million. They've upgraded on Isak.
Yeah.
Newcastle have upgraded with Voltemada.
Yeah.
125.5 million it was on Isak and 70 million on Voltemada, who looks like a young Rudy Voller from Marseille back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get Voller vibes from him as well. Yeah. And he's done really well. I think he'll lead Germany at the World Cup next year.
Oh God, easily up front.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that as well. Arsenal winning 2-0 against Brighton earlier this week as well. Like I said, surprisingly, Liverpool did not change their 11, where Arsenal still went a full strength squad, and wasn't a comfortable win against Brighton, but it looks like the way they're playing at the moment, guys, it just feels like Arsenal could get closer to the final. On that.
I think maybe this season we might need to have a conversation about Arsenal.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know I slag them off for fun, and it's all worth it, but they are on course to break Chelsea's record.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send you something, Carl, on Twitter to share. Actually, I'm going to send something to you to share on Facebook, and I'm not kidding. This is from that Opta predicted table.
I saw it, and Michael shared it out to me as well. Yeah,
it's the same points total I think the champions will have. They predicted Arsenal to win the league with just 80 points.
Yeah.
And
I did see that.
Although I think it's weird that they've got United from 4th to 10th.
It's interesting that they put that 4th to 10th. I was like, Man United will be a little bit higher than that, which I'm going to disagree with. Bournemouth, 6th place. I could back that a little bit, but yeah. And then I look at the bottom of the table, I'm thinking, Wolves are going down easily. West Ham.
Wolves, West Ham, and
Nottingham Forest.
United won't drop to United. There's no way United are dropping to 10th now, not with Lamans in goal.
No. I disagree. And I say this to you as a Leeds fan, I do agree with you guys with this one because you both made effort. I cannot see you dropping down to 10th with Lamans, who's been a good goalkeeper for you guys the last.
I genuinely think now we'll finish in the top 4. I don't take the top 4 as a celebration, unlike Arsenal fans. But
true.
I genuinely think we'll finish in the top 4.
Yeah, not surprised.
If we keep scoring goals, I'm not concerned about Lamans in goal.
No.
I'm not
But
concerned.
but you know what, Reese? I would take the top four as a sign of improvement rather
Mhm.
than celebration because of
Yes,
what's been happening in the past years at Man United. I would definitely take top four as a massive sign of improvement, and I think if we can get top four, then
I think
uh,
the only, I think
Ruben
the,
might be a wee bit more safer in that proverbial hot seat than he
I
has
only,
been.
I only think Man United will generally get the top four lists if we do sign a midfielder in January, though. Like
But then again, Man United generally don't like to do
we need to,
business
though. I
in
know, but
January at all.
I agree, but
Even though we
United
need
do need.
to,
I know, but United
but
do
we
generally need
don't
a
like
central midfielder in
to.
January. But it's not. I don't want it to. Like, as much as I like Conor Gallagher, I don't think Conor Gallagher is the answer. Like for me right now, United needs somebody much more aggressive. I want
Mm.
Angelo. I want Angelo Stiller. But if we end up getting Gallagher in January and we get Stiller in the summer, that's midfield improved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be a good improved midfield completely as well. Grisby's cup run in the League Cup ended as well. We lose the final to Brentford.
Hmm.
I can see Brentford being one of the dark horses, especially under Keith Andrews. It's for the way people have written them off. I can see them being one of the dark horses.
Who have they
Brentford.
got in the next round?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll just get that up as well. Let me see. I know it's gonna be some point after, not the week after. It will be some point after the international break
It's 10 days before Christmas, the next round gets played. The week commencing the 15th
Beef. That's it. Thank
of
you. Yeah,
December.
thank you, Stefan. So yes, so Brentford away at Man City, Newcastle
Oof.
against Fulham, Cardiff home to Chelsea, and it's Arsenal against Crystal Palace.
I
I
tell
think
you,
Palace will be Arsenal.
I thought Man City was going to have a fright on Tuesday or Wednesday night,
Oh,
whenever
at
it was.
Swansea, yeah, everyone did think that as well. Actually,
I,
Hmm.
yeah,
I was really looking forward to that. Then we just came out in the second half and went, "No, we're not leaving this competition."
yeah, I could, yeah, I could see Crystal Palace beating Arsenal. I could see it, but the thing for Palace, they got a difficult fixture list now, including the Europa Conference League, especially playing. I think it's 5 games in 11 days, something like that. I was
It's,
reading, so
it's
that's gonna be
crazy.
tough for
The
them.
schedule's crazy.
It is very crazy, especially because Boxing Day is only one Premier League game on Boxing Day, which is Man United against Newcastle. It's just because the way UEFA just looked at this now and decided to say, well, because we're playing more games, and they have had to make a lot of changes. It just
Yeah,
feels like the Boxing Day stuff is now meaningless to all of it. It's like it's part of our English football culture where we've been brought up. Boxing Day football has been, for the Premier League especially, but now with one game, it feels meaningless now.
If I look at these fixtures, I'm going to just predict my semi-finalists right now: Cardiff, Palace, Newcastle, Man City.
Ooh,
oh,
Palace beating, well, they
Cardiff.
gotta beat Chelsea. Yeah, it could be interesting, especially the way Chelsea. Yeah, that's a bold statement there, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what? That's gonna be interesting. The more we discuss that later over
I
the
think it'll be a Palace Newcastle final if they can get to the final
mm,
against each other. I think it'll be a
as long as
Palace
they avoid
Newcastle
each
final.
other. That's a good question. Avoid
Yeah,
each other in semi-finals. Yeah,
if they can avoid each other, I think that'll be the final. But if it ends up being Palace Newcastle in the semis, I think Newcastle will actually suffer over two legs, depending on their fixture list. I think Palace would actually do better over two legs than Newcastle would.
yeah.
yeah. It'll be interesting as well. It's gonna be interesting quarterfinals in December. It's gonna be very very good football in the EFL Cup. Right? Do you know what? Let's move on. And I guess here Stefan is joining us as well. Stefan, you're a big Scottish women's football fan, and let's talk about your Hibernian Ladies Sports Club. How was it created? What and how what and in Saudi has it been a good thing, especially for hips ladies?
Well, I created it back in the 2018-19 season when Scottish women's football wasn't really on the map as such. Because when you look at the teams in the SWPL now, back even 6 years ago, they weren't part of the main football club as such. They were under the community foundations of each club. So For example, if you had an away game, players would have to go in their cars. Players would have to have a second job just to submit their income from football to survive. But fast forward 6 years, and quite a lot of the clubs now in SWPL 1 are under their main club's sort of banner. They've been brought in house, especially teams like Hibs, Celtic, Rangers, who are very good, by the way, Reese.
Hmm.
Maybe you should start watching them over in the
I've
men's.
watched the I've watched the I've watched
Yeah,
the women's I've watched the women's
um,
Rangers and Man
Rangers,
United teams now and then. Like I enjoy them. I
yeah,
think they're good.
they're very good. And so, but going back, the whole point to the Facebook group was to get a bit of recognition for Hibernian ladies, as it was. It's now Hibernian women, and for Scottish women's football as a whole. Because when I started going along, there wasn't many fans going. There wasn't really TV deals in place. There was none of that. It was almost like, I don't know, Sunday League for girls and women in effect. But fast forward 6 years, you've had a total rebrand of SWPL. You've now got TV deals in place from Sky Sports, BBC Scotland, BBC Alba is a big one for the women's game, and the teams are just thriving. They're going from strength to strength. Fans are turning up at the games. Fans are watching the games. Fans are supporting their team. Money's getting put into it as well, which is absolutely fantastic. The dream would be for it to be like the Women's Super League down in England, but let's not get too far ahead. But I think Scottish women's football is clearly on the up, and especially with last season, Hibs beating Rangers in the title decider at Ibrox. Sorry, Reese, but it was
Yeah, that's true.
a
Yeah.
brilliant day, brilliant weekend for us. And I just think that teams like Hearts and Hibs are just going to kick on in that league for years to come.
Yeah, I agree absolutely as well. I remember that because my living rent officer is a huge Hibs women's fan, and she was mocking me pretty much when they beat Rangers. I thought to myself, I just thought that was a day. I thought, in a way, I did not want to see my rivals beat
No,
that scoreline. Thinking, where was Rangers? Where were you guys? But actually, you know what? It's a fair play the way it's now on the rise. And I'm looking at the start of this season, Stefan, it's been a brilliant start again. Like I said, I know Hibs are 5 points behind Glasgow
yeah,
City, but
it,
it's been another good start for the Scottish
it
Premier
has.
League again this season.
It has. But the only reason we're 5 points behind Glasgow City right now is because of our exploits within the Women's UEFA Champions League qualification process. Because for that, it's slightly different compared to the men's qualification. Let's just say, even if you become champions, you've still got to go through 2 or 3 rounds to get to the main competition. And obviously, if you're in that takes away from your week games, your week time. So other teams have the chance to bomb up the league. I mean, Rizzo know himself. Rangers were playing the likes of Real Madrid Femini last season or the season before. Admittedly, there was a very big golfing class because I kept an eye on the results for that. But it's good exposure for Scottish women's football to be aligned and accredited with UEFA competition.
I've never agreed with the rules about like if you win your league, then you've then got to go through playoff rounds to qualify for the Champions League. I've never
I
agreed with it, but
know.
I understand the competitiveness. It makes it
Yeah,
harder for teams, so
it
I think it's
definitely
interesting.
makes it harder. Sorry, Reese. And the UEFA has also introduced a version of the Europa League
Hmm.
for women's teams as well now, called, I think it's something like the International Europa Cup or something like that.
Yeah,
Hibs faced Inter Milan over two legs to try and get into that, but needless to say, in the first leg in Italy, we were blown away because we got from class. But in the second leg at Easter Road, we only won 1-0. So there's
Mm.
definite signs of improvement, but I don't really like the way the qualification is structured for European competition within the women's game, but maybe that'll change over time, guys. Who knows?
yeah, yeah. Who knows as well? Especially in the Europa Cup of Glasgow City is the only representation for
Yeah,
Scottish
we're
women's
the only
football.
ones left.
Yeah, and in the round of 16, they're going to Sporting Lisbon, women's, which is going to be very quite interesting as well. Because they could either potentially play in the quarterfinals against Ajax or Hammarby as well. So it's an interesting one when they do play against each other in the
Yeah,
on the 12th of November in the first leg, and then the second leg's on the 19th. So that's going to be interesting. How that will come into fruition. But like you said, you could see, hopefully there will be changes of making him make the closing the gulf
but
between Scottish women's football and the rest of the European League, the women's football
there,
across as well.
there needs to be, just to make it fairer, because if it was made fairer and put on the same structure as men's football, then you'd be playing potentially Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday, like you do with men's football,
Yeah,
and that would be brilliant. And the one ironic thing about Glasgow City is they don't have any men's teams at all.
no,
Hmm.
They're solely just formed as a girls and women's team. They've never had an inkling, as opposed to even venture into men's football.
I
yeah,
think I think there's a reason for that. I think the reason why there's never been a Glasgow City men's team is because purely there's already 3 teams in Glasgow.
I think so too, but I mean, could you imagine if it was Glasgow City,
Hmm.
men's, for example, you could have a mix of Rangers and Celtic players playing together, and maybe that's why
Yeah.
we've never gone down that route, because it would take away the passion and the history of the old firm.
yeah, yeah. It's a good point actually. Yeah, that's really a good point, especially like I said, Glasgow City football club. They've been there for 27 years now and continuing. I'm
Spot on, Chris. Spot on.
Yeah, do agree, Chris. Glasgow's a cup, and Matt also thinks for the final. That is a fair point, actually. So
He's a cup manager that also does
Yeah.
reasonably well in a league
Mhm.
format as well. Like he has the blend of both, but he's a brilliant cup manager.
yeah,
He's fantastic in the
he's
cup.
fantastic. Yeah,
Without a doubt.
yeah, absolutely, and especially with you Glasgow Rangers that had the 16 times winners of the Scottish Premier League. No wonder they've really become such the most successful Scottish women's team
Yeah,
in modern history completely, And like I said, I'm hopefully the game will keep thriving, and that's something I'm looking forward, especially
hopefully.
with Spartans, the women's team play across the road. And I should be, you know what? I think I should get across there because I would like to see the women's. Because I see the
Yeah.
men's team
Yeah.
playing a lot more, but I would like to see the women's team as well, which I should do in my own time as well.
Is that what you're doing today?
No,
Spartans.
no, not today.
No,
Actually,
he's
I'm
gone to
going.
Tynecastle today.
I'm at Tynecastle today, which is with myself and Michael Bowers. So he's already here now in
He's just
Edinburgh.
popped.
So
He's just popped into the chat as well.
yeah, yeah, he's just popped in the chat as well.
So
So
what's at Tynecastle today then?
uh,
Dundee.
Dundee.
All right, okay.
So it's another Celtic game. There's no tickets at all available.
The
So
question is, though, Carol, will you go 9 points clear or will you stay 6 points clear?
that's a good question, Stefan, because I always said, listen, at the moment, I did think, the win, a draw against St Mirren is not a bad result. What some people have said, but it's because of Celtic now not have a league game this weekend. We need to put the pressure on them to try to go 9 points clear
Of
now.
course.
Yeah, so I think that is the main focal point we need to do is to try to capitalize on with Celtic not playing. So it's a huge game, in fact, especially a Dundee side just beat Celtic just a fortnight ago.
Yes.
It's a huge game for us. So
Which,
and especially
no,
after that we play Dundee United. So
which no one expected, by the way, Dundee to beat Celtic so comprehensively at all.
no, absolutely not. So yeah, especially with Dundee not being.
I did.
You did well. You did. Yeah, I gave you that. You did. Yeah.
I said Celtic wouldn't beat Dundee. I
Yeah.
was surprised in the end it happened, but I did say it would happen. I was like my random prediction.
I do remember that, Reece. Yeah, you did. But you were probably the only person in the whole of Scotland that thought that at
That's
that time.
just because of the whole. I just don't think they're. I just feel like they were taking them too cocky.
Yeah.
Well, that's very true.
That's true, Chris. They didn't lose to St Mirren, but they were behind twice.
Yeah, we will be out
Yeah,
twice.
but you came back twice as well, and
Then we had a goal ruled out because of offside from at the end as well if we had the winners. So technically,
I had to chuckle at that, Carl, to be honest with you, because I was in the Hibs Stadium at that point when it came through, and I was laughing.
I know. I thought you would have been laughing about it. I would not surprised. Yeah.
Mm.
And then, of course, your women's team, Carl, has Rangers at 4:10 tomorrow
To
on
do, yeah.
BBC Alba.
Yeah, I know.
That'll be a tough one. That'll be tough.
Probably. Do you know what? I might watch that game tomorrow as well. Actually, and as well as
I will. I'll be watching just see how Rangers go on.
Yeah, so I do need to keep an eye on him because I know my old school friend, his sister does play for Hearts. So I have been told, so I thought, right, I'm going to have to.
Who's
Yeah,
that, Carl, if you don't mind me asking?
that's a good question. I need to look back in my messages and see. And I know because when you told me about it a while back, it was some point last year. So let me
Yeah.
just go back in my messages because I think she still played for the club. So,
And of course, Rangers are managed by Leanne Crichton now, so
yeah, his sister Katie Lockwood plays for Hearts. So I was like, okay, I did not know that, and yeah, it was a surprise to me when he told me about it. So yeah, Katie Lockwood.
Katie Lockwood has had spells at Hearts,
Yes,
Hibs, Glasgow City. Need I go on?
no, I've been told. So
She's
yeah,
a very good player. She's
yeah.
very
So I
good.
know she was at the club last season. I know she's not there now, but I know she was at Hearts last season. So
Yep, Katie
yeah,
Lockwood.
yeah. So I do have a friend. I do have a friend whose sister does play across Scotland, and I was like, okay, I did not know that. So yeah, because I think she's now she's at Glasgow City now. So yeah,
Yep,
I do
yes.
need to keep an eye on her because I didn't know his sister was a footballer until because I know she played in America for a bit in
Yep.
a college football, and then she's been across Sweden, and yeah, so she's been across quite the sort of schools the last 3-4 years. So yeah,
Quite a lot of the signings that come into the Scottish women's game to the likes of Hearts, Hibs,
yeah,
Partick Thistle, for example, come from the American football
yeah,
college
collegiate,
system.
side of things, yeah.
Because, for example, the Hibs goalkeeper, Noah Schumacher, she's American. We've had loads of American players come through our books. I know it's slightly different for Rangers and Celtic because you guys have money in the Scottish women's game and other teams clearly don't. But at the end of the day, it's about what you put out on the pitch and how well they
Absolutely.
can perform.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. Yeah, I do agree with that.
By some pure miracle that we beat Rangers to the post last year, and
I know.
it was a really good fight to watch week in, week out.
Yeah.
I still can't understand it because Rangers were top of the league, plus 115 goal
Yes,
difference, and then they finished
Exactly.
third.
Yeah.
yeah,
Rangers
and
went from first to third on the final day as one of the
I
worst.
know, Reece, and I'm so sorry.
Don't be.
Not sorry, but
I mean, to be fair, like last season, the fact that Rangers finished behind one team that was actually deserved to win the league, and then a team that shouldn't have been the top two in the first place. Rangers should have been in Rangers should have blew the league away, but they left it till the final day to should not, which is embarrassing.
I mean, that's the other thing I find really interesting as well about women's football is your goal difference can be astronomical, like the 150 goal difference, but you still can't win the league and you still drop down two places. It's just crazy. Like Celtic played Hamilton last night.
Yeah,
It's probably in Hamilton, to be fair. Celtic use their stadium quite a bit, or Broadwood, and we beat Hamilton 3-0, which for that game was quite good.
they
For
won
Hamilton.
they won 3-0 last night. Their next game is Rangers away.
Yep, exactly. And that'll probably be on Sky Sports Football. It's one
Yeah.
of the only SWPL League games that is on Sky Sports. All
Mhm.
the others are either on BBC Alba, the club's YouTube channels,
Yeah.
or on the very odd occasion that there's no football at all because of a men's international break, BBC Scotland on a Friday night.
They've
Yeah.
had Celtic have had a weird start to the season. A 2-1 win against Hearts in
Yep.
August. Then they beat Hamilton 5-0 at home. Then they beat Partick Thistle 7-0 away.
Yep.
Then they lost to Rangers 2-0 away. 2-0 at home. Then they beat Aberdeen 4-2 away. Then they drew 1-1 with Hibs. Then they beat Montrose 4-0. Then they beat Motherwell only a couple of weeks ago 7-1. They lost to Glasgow City on the 19th 2-1. Then they beat Hamilton yesterday.
It's been a very, very weird start for Celtic and many of the other teams as well. Hearts have had a very
2 games a month is
start
hard
to
for
the
these teams,
season.
though. 2 games a month is hard to prepare for, though.
Oh yeah, that's because of the European exploits, Reece.
Yeah,
Because both Hibs and Celtic were involved in the European qualification for the Champions League and the
that's true.
women's version of the Europa League Cup, which is it's crazy because how can you prepare for 2 games a month?
No, I know.
No.
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
It's stupid. It's really stupid. And I hope, Stefan, of what you've doing with the Hibs Lane Sports Club, it's been going quite well, and you've seen the rise of Scottish women's football, which is really good. And I think it will keep going to try to close the gap, not just across the Women's Super League in England, but across Europe as well too. And I think that's going to be a huge thing in the next 5 to 10 years to come and long term. How the game grows now completely in Scottish women's football, because like I said, everyone wants to see in the long term a successful Scotland women's national team as well. Try to be at certain major tournaments as well too, which is hopefully
Oh
a
yeah,
huge part.
I mean, we got the World Cup in 2019. Yes, we got absolutely thumped by the old enemy, and Cal, you'll probably have a slight laugh at that. But we were there, and that was the main thing. Was that we were able to go through a qualifying campaign. We actually qualified, and we were on that plane to the World Cup. Sadly, we won't be at the Euros. We weren't in the Euros, sorry, but
Yeah.
there's always the next tournament to come round the corner.
We've got some really good players, though, the likes of Cuthbert, Weir,
Exactly.
who plays for Real Madrid. We've got Martha Thomas, obviously former Man United at Tottenham,
Yep.
Mia McCauley at Rangers, Kevin McGovern is quality
Right.
as well, Kirsty
Caroline,
Hanston, Samantha Kerr. I mean, she plays for
Mhm.
Liverpool, but she's actually still a decent player. So does Kirsty McLean. Same birthday as me, Kirsty McLean, except
We've-
she's younger, so she's got a better career than I do. But Caroline Weir obviously makes this team special.
Yeah, we've got great players, Reece, that's the thing. And
Mhm.
Caroline Weir's goal against Morocco last Friday
Mhm.
was outstanding. I mean, I know it was a friendly in Morocco, but her goal, I don't know if you've seen it, but
Yeah.
it was outstanding. It was almost Bowie-esque against Partizan Belgrade, but slightly straighter.
Aye. I look
It
at some of
was
I look at
amazing.
some of you look at some of the clubs that some of these players that play for the Scotland national team play in, for example. It's actually a very good age squad in terms of
Yeah,
players like players that are like 19 up till they're 30. Like the oldest player in the squad was I believe Lee Gibson, the goalkeeper for Glasgow City. I believe
yeah,
she was the oldest player in the last squad. I'm just checking. Yeah, 30,
yeah.
33 years old. She's the oldest player in the last. Sorry, 34. She just turned 34. She's the oldest player. Then it's Nicola Doherty, Rangers defender. Uh,
She's brilliant.
Yep, Sophie Howard, 32, defender, plays for Como. Kirsty Smith plays for Forest, 31 years old. She's 32 in January. Caroline Weir, our oldest midfielder at 30. She turned 30 in June. Again, she plays for Real Madrid. She's got over 114 caps. And then our oldest strikers are between 27 and 29. And our youngest is Mia McCauley and Kathleen McGovern, 19 and 23. Kirsty Hansen's 27. She's 5 days and 1 year younger than me, Kirsty Hansen. What the
I,
fuck?
I was just going to say the one to watch out for would be Mia McCoy and
Yeah,
Kathleen McGovern, without a shadow of a
I've,
doubt.
I've seen them play against Rangers. They're top. They're quality players like Erin Cuthbert as well. I mean, mainstay for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Carolyn Weir obviously went from
Mhm.
women's like the women like the women's Super League all the way to Real Madrid. And she's been a mainstay. But you look at some of these clubs. Our strikers play for Rangers, Palace, Villa, Hibs,
Exactly.
and Tottenham. The mid
Exactly.
the midfield is Liverpool, Madrid, Forest, Brann, Chelsea, Newcastle. The defence is Rangers, Glasgow City, Liverpool, Como, Brighton, Sporting Club Jacksonville,
Hmm.
Nottingham Forest, Celtic. Only one Celtic player in the entire Scotland squad. Then you got Erfa Cummings, sorry, from Man City, third choice goalkeeper. Sandy McIver, second choice. She's backup
Hmm.
goalkeeper. Washington Spirit, the second one. And then obviously Lee Gibson, Glasgow City goalkeeper. Like it says a lot that a Rangers goalkeeper or a Celtic goalkeeper can't get in.
Mm,
And it just baffles me that not many people in Scotland actually take the time to watch Scottish football and learn about these players.
yeah.
Mm.
We need to.
And hopefully that will change in time. I hopefully it will do because we've
Yeah,
seen it across in England that slowly has been changing of the success of the Lionesses winning back to back women's Euros completely. We hopefully that will make that change across just Scotland as well. Because I was watching a documentary on Welcome to Wrexham about when the
Yeah.
Wrexham ladies women's team have, and I've seen that they're growing as well. So I'm hopeful that the tide will turn because something that it needs to be fair. Because, like I said, the more we see women's game on national TV becoming a lot more mainstream, I'm hopeful it will change for the better, not for the worst.
yeah,
Totally, 100%. And then we can feed more players into the Scotland squad. I mean, you've
Yeah,
got Ailey Adams and Tegan Bowie and Rosie Livingston coming through in the under 23s and under 19s, respectively, from Hibs. You've got Hearts players in there as well. You've got Rangers players in the under 23s as well that's ready to step up to
I-
the Scotland's women national team.
yeah.
So,
I
yeah,
understand where Chris is coming from in terms of like not watching. I mean, like not everyone will watch it religiously, so I
no,
don't.
of
That
course,
doesn't
dip
make
in
it
and
sense.
out. Have a look at it. Have a look at the product and see what we can offer.
Yeah, I think not everyone's going to be able to watch it, but if you do watch it, you all enjoy it. But I feel like it doesn't make you sexist for not watching women's football.
No,
It doesn't
no,
make you sexist
no,
at all. Like people watch like they'll watch like their main football, they'll see
yeah,
anything else on TV, and they'll watch their academy teams. That doesn't make you if you don't watch the women's side of your football club, that doesn't make you sexist.
no.
yeah.
Not everyone watches
Mm.
it. I think it's like you can then throw the same conversation on a woman. For example, if a woman calls you sexist for that, but then I'll go, do you watch the women's game? or do you watch just the men's game? Oh, we just watched the men's game. Oh, so you're sexist too then? You'll find it ironically funny, but that also makes them sexist for not watching their own gender play the sport. So you can't attack. Quite frankly, attacking a man or a woman over what type of sport they watch is pathetic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree as well.
Yes.
Absolutely as well.
Unless you're someone like Savile or Epstein, then you do question the sport they watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know,
They watch it from hell now, but
yeah, they do actually. They do watch it from hell. So the less said about it, the better. But do you know
Absolutely.
what? As it's going to have 12, I'm gonna finish off because I'm
get
gonna
ready
meet.
we've got the game shortly as well, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, gentlemen, thank you very much as always. And Stefan, thank you for joining us. And we'll hopefully get you on to keep an eye on the roundup of the Scottish women's game as well to get your roundup. I would appreciate that. And before we finish with the show, so go on, Stefan. I'll let you finish.
Oh, I just said, of course, no problem at all.
Perfect.
Good show today. I've
show.
enjoyed it.
And also, Michael, you asked me about my first week of my new job, and I wanted to come on to that. It's not been bad. I've been a lot more shadowing, especially to learn the thing. That brings us to the next point because next Saturday I won't be on. Times I've got to, I've been doing this since after what I've been through, and I've got to feel being back at work, which is helpful. But I know my priorities are going to have to bounce my priorities a little bit different now as I'm now working again. So on Saturday, next Saturday, I won't be on next weekend, but the weekend after I should be back on. So, but we'll have to work some weekends, as a part of my support role as a support worker. But as I said, I do enjoy. That means I'm not going to go away permanently. I'll still be appearing when I'm off when I'm not working on weekends. But in a way, next weekend it's going to be, it's going to be a bit different now going forward. Especially now, I said to my manager, I'm happy to do some weekends because if that's what you need me to do, I'll do it to make sure to help to support the people that we look after. So that's important. But I should be tomorrow. I'll be back. We'll do the championship review tomorrow night with Reese and Michael, and it should be the same for next week as well because I know Michael's away.
I might pop in as well. You never know.
Yeah, Pat, and I will, Reese. I will add you as a team member on here now going forward. So if you will do the show, and Stefan, you could join in as well on some Saturdays as well too with Reese, and we'll get some of the other guests as well from our content creators that we hang out with as well. So it will be appreciated as well. So but
I'll make it quick thing as well. This is just for Man United Forest today, so potentially Maguire is a doubt for the game as well. Martinez will absolutely not be in the squad, which I'm glad. He's unlike Ten Hag, who would just rush him back in. Martinez is not going to be rushed in under Amorim. Forest, however, Chris Wood and Zinchenko are both ruled out. They are out. Ola Aina is making good progress for his thigh injury, so is Delane Bakwa. Angus Gunn is out as well with knee ligament injury.
I'll give the team news for Leeds. Leeds have got no injury concerns going forward to this weekend. So we hopefully that's not going to be an issue with Wilf and not to be back in the squad as well. So same for Brighton as well. They got no new concerns as well too. So yeah, it looks like it's all good go for both sides as well with the team sheet as well. And like I said, Leeds have been winless in the last 9 away games against Brighton since the 3-0 victory in 2009 under Simon Grayson in League One as well. So, that's going to be, the last couple of games we have not had a good record at Brighton, but things might change today. We will see. So, But no, listen, thank you for everyone for messaging in. And yes, the job's going quite well. And hopefully I'm taking it day by day and then learning a lot of stuff. So for me, yes, my priorities are going to change a bit, but I'll still be doing my content when I can at the times off I have. That's fine, and I can
Yeah.
move it. And especially now I've got a team now that does the championship review, so that's not too worries
Yes.
myself. It's the same with the Saturday show and with Doug as well on the 20 podcast as well.
Mhm.
You know, so but I am back on tomorrow night with Michael Annie tomorrow night for the championship
Yeah.
review at 8 p.m. as well.
I'll watch a few games and I'll pop in. I'll leave some other news for you as well that'll leave you disappointed. Depending on how fixtures go today, all goes in Man United's favour.
Yeah.
Man United, and if Arsenal were to lose as well this weekend, Man United will go second, 3 points
Yeah.
behind Arsenal in the league. If
Ooh.
depending on fixtures, Man United will go above City, Sunderland, Tottenham, and Bournemouth. They will go from 6th to 2nd if we beat Forest
Wow.
this afternoon.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting. Yeah, today if the games as well too.
That'd be
Yeah,
mental.
absolutely. But no, like I said, I'll be back on tomorrow night on the championship review here in the Total Leave It Off podcast, and then I should do the 20 with Doug on probably Monday night after the Monday night football game between Sunderland against Everton, and also we should upload it on Tuesday or Wednesday. But I won't be on next Saturday. But like I said, going forward, I will let you know each week how my road is, and you make sure that everything's got covered on here. And at least I have a team now, a little bit of a team that builds around that zone when I'm aware of stuff, because I do enjoy the stuff and I enjoyed it when I've been off work, but I knew if I wanted to go back to work, especially personal life, because I'm now in a relationship with my partner who's unfortunately is now back in the US. So the next steps for me now is we are going to elope and I'm going to bring her back here at some point between now and next spring. So that's the next step. So I am
Nice.
focused on other things, priority as well. But I like to say thank you for everyone for watching in. Thank you to Chris, to Doug, to Michael as well, to Peter as well, to even our good friend Ant, who did come on briefly, but he never came on, to Niall, who messaged in as well, and to Stefan and to Reese as usual. Fantastic for us, all three of us, to have a chat and everything. But as I said, the show at the same time will be back on next weekend, a Saturday, without myself. But like I said, we will always plan ahead of who we'll be covering. But as I said, everyone have a good weekend. Like I said to you, Reese, good luck in the game tomorrow against Celtic in the League Cup.
Thank you.
And also for you, Stefan, good luck away at Livingston, which is Doug's team as well.
Yep. Little positive thing I want to do is a little cheap plug. If you guys like wrestling content, I did a Halloween show yesterday on the PlayStation. I had no issues as well from OBS in the PlayStation. So going forward, pretty much all my gaming streams are going to be done through OBS dependence. So I'll be doing that for the PlayStation going forward. So check them going forward, and I will be back later on today if you do like wrestling. So there you go.
So Stefan, we know you're DJing your own time. Tell where people can find you as well if they want to listen to some music while you're DJing as well.
They can find me on Fridays on a channel called Rave Station, which is yearly stream on Kick and Mixcloud.
Kick's becoming popular, yeah.
Mixcloud. But I'm not a big fan of Kick, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. But thank you guys. Thank you very much as always. And thank you to everyone who's been watching this as well too. Everyone, have a good weekend, especially because it's Halloween weekend. Have a good night out, which I am going to have later on tonight at my friend's party. So I'm going to be hungover in the morning, but I should recover ahead of tomorrow night's content as well. But like I said, have a good Saturday, everyone, and take it for now. Bye from us.